I'm ready to move down there.
Hey everyone, Ironbeard here, and I've got some thoughts about Arma Reforger's new 1.3 update. Man, let me tell you, this one's got me buzzing. We've got mortars tearing up the battlefield, buildings collapsing like they're made of wet paper, supply trucks that can actually carry a decent load, and a bunch of bug fixes that, let's be real, should have been sorted ages ago but still feel good to have. This update's got that Reforger is really coming together energy. It's the kind of patch that makes you want to jump in, rally the squad, and see what's what. Don't tell Bohemia, but this update has been one of the best updates Reforger has ever had so far, and if they didn't add any more features for a while, I'd say it still feels like a solid Arma title. And you knew there was a but coming, right? It isn't without its controversy. There's this new rank-locked equipment system stirring the pot, and oh boy, it's got the community in a frenzy. Some love it, some hate it, and I'm stuck in the middle noticing some other issues. So let's unpack this thing. What's awesome, what's a mess, and why this whole progression deal feels like a roller coaster with a few too many dips. Because in 1.3, they've locked a bunch of the cool toys, like certain ammo types, scopes, the LAV-25, mortar HE rounds or gunships behind ranks. Want to play with the big stuff? You've got to earn it, climbing from private all the way up to captain or whatever. For some folks, especially the Arma diehards, this is gold. It's realistic, right? You don't hand a newbie a tank and say, have at it, especially not with a public supply system that gets consumed by all of these items. Plus, the rank-locked items are supposed to weed out the Call of Duty types. You know, the ones who sprint into conflict mode like it's a free-for-all, die in 10 seconds, and respawn without a care. The rank system's meant to force some patience, make you work for it, and I get the appeal. There's something satisfying about earning your stripes, feeling like you've climbed the ladder to unlock that shiny new weapon. But here's the flip side, and it's a big one. Not everyone griping about this is some casual who just wants instant gratification. Even some of the hardcore players, the ones who live and breathe this game, are like, really, Bohemia? Because here's the thing. It can feel less like a rewarding challenge and more like a soul-crushing grind, particularly with how the progression system is implemented currently. Picture this. You've got an hour or two to play after work. You log in, ready to blow stuff up, and instead, you're stuck hauling supplies for the third match in a row because you're still a lowly private. Meanwhile, your buddy who's got no job and endless free time is soaring around in a gunship, laughing at you from the sky. For these people, it's not fun. It's a chore. And you know what? They're not entirely wrong, even if rank-locked items does accomplish its goals. Now that doesn't mean I'm suddenly against progression systems. Progression systems, when they work, can be very addictive and keep people in the game. Think about your favorite RPG. You start as some scrub with a stick for a sword, and by the end, you're decked out in glowing armor, slaying dragons. That journey? It's a rush. Every level up, every new skill, every new location, it's like the game's giving you a high five saying, nice job, keep going. It's addictive. You log back in because you're this close to that next milestone. It keeps you engaged, gives you something to chase, and makes every session feel like it's building towards something bigger. That's what Reforger could have had with this rank system. Imagine if it felt like that. Like every match was a step up, a chance to try something new. Maybe today I'm schlepping supplies, but tomorrow I'm raining mortars on some poor sap's head. It's variety, it's growth, it's a hook. The idea is solid. It's just the execution that feels like it's tripping over itself right now. So what's going wrong? Well, for one, the grind can be repetitive. Getting to corporal or sergeant is doable without much thought, but hitting lieutenant or captain where the real fun stuff lives, that's a slog, even if you're a pro. In my opinion, this is because conflict is in a weird place right now. Matches are either over in 1 hour, which is barely enough time to rank up, or matches last just long enough for the progression system to make sense, but not long enough for the progression system to respect your time. Here's what I mean. In many cases, conflict matches stretch on for hours, dangling progress in front of you like a carrot, only to yank it away when the server resets. I've had nights where I'm like, okay, I'm so close to captain but am done playing for the night, and then bam, match ends before I log back in the next day and I'm back to square one. It's maddening. All that effort, poof, gone. It's like spending hours on a sandcastle, only for the tide to roll in and wipe it clean. That's not progression, that's a treadmill. progression systems are supposed to make you feel like you're moving forward, not stuck in a loop. Conflict matches can last anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It's very inconsistent, and there's no guarantee that you'll be able to pick up where you left off from one day to the next. Join too late. Tough luck. The easy points from capturing bases are gone, and you're scrambling to catch up while everyone else is miles ahead. And the player turnover? Matches that last longer than you have time for, but shorter than you can get back to the next day, also creates a situation where the people who are at the beginning of a match aren't necessarily the same people who will finish it, causing this endless cycle of players who are rotating out and taking with them the ability to utilize late-game gear. One minute, you've got a captain leading the charge with a gunship, the next, they're gone, logged off to eat dinner or whatever, and your team's suddenly toothless. Or you're suddenly steamrolling against an enemy team of latecomers. It's dynamic, I'll give it that, but it's also a pain when you're trying to build momentum. So that captain, who was really putting the hurt on the enemy and holding them at bay with their gunship, has a huge negative impact on the team, simply because they're done playing for the time being, and I wonder if this is what Bohemia had in mind when designing conflict. Sure, you could argue that's realistic. People drop in and out of real battles too. But in Reforger, it's a buzzkill when you've been making progress for hours, only to have the match reset while you're offline. It's like planning a big camping trip, packing all your gear, driving out to the woods, and then it rains all weekend. You're left sitting there, soaked, wondering why you bothered. Now you might say that this shakes things up and balances the battlefield, which is probably true. It also forces you into different play styles from session to session, which can give you a sense of variety and freshness. You might also ask, why should players who just joined the match have access to late-game gear when new arrivals should be earning their merits by doing a few supply runs? That's also true, and I'd even agree with that sentiment. But most players don't understand what conflict even is, and here's where I think this whole controversy ties into an even bigger problem. The whole point of the rank-locked items seems to be addressing the problem of supply wastage from new players, particularly at the beginning of a match. Here's the big question. What's conflict even supposed to be? It feels like it wants to be this grand, slow-burn 24/7 war simulator. Think Foxhole in first person, with logistics and strategy at the core. But it's not quite there. There's too many different things to do and not enough players on a server to do them. Players are spread out too thin between objectives, matches reset too fast, the systems feel half-implemented, and half the player base doesn't even know what's going on because the only thing they know how to do is click on multiplayer and join the first server on the list. You've got newbies fresh off battlefield sprinting into the fray, burning stamina with human wave tactics, plopping respawn points in the middle of nowhere because they're lost and aren't used to communicating with other players. And there's no coordination or strategy outside of rushing into the very center of an objective over and over again. They're not playing a milsim, they're playing a chaotic deathmatch, and I can't totally blame them. Arma Reforger has drawn in a lot of new people, most of whom are unfamiliar with this genre. They want action, and conflict's trying to serve up spreadsheets and supply runs instead. Meanwhile, Capture and Hold is just sitting right there, gathering dust. It's perfect for the fast-paced crowd that triggered the need for rank-locked items in the first place. All of this supply wastage, all of this TKing, all of this strafe spamming and vehicle stealing, all of this Barbieing and sprinting around like a chicken with its head cut off is because we have an entire market flooding into the game who are expecting team deathmatch, and they're finding their way into a game mode that isn't suited for them. Capture and Hold is. It's quick, it's shooty, it's no fuss, no ranks, and all action. So why is it empty? Likely because there's no official servers and no marketing buzz. It's like they've forgotten it's an option, something Evan can fix. Fix that, and maybe conflict could breathe, letting the tactical folks do their thing without the run-and-gun chaos clogging it up. If Bohemia simply took the handful of empty conflict servers that they have and turned them into Capture and Hold servers and slapped them at the top of the server browser, then I think the majority of players who have an issue with the boringness of conflict will be absorbed there, and everybody wins because the people who are being the biggest offender of supply wastage will be gone, which means the quality of conflict matches will likely go up. This change could even be implemented within the time it took to watch this video without any new updates. So, where does that leave us? Reforger 1.3 is a huge leap, but it's stumbling over this rank system and match mess with far too many players who have no idea what they've gotten themselves into. It's got heart though, and I think it can become even more of a banger with some tweaks, simply by sorting the player base into the right areas. The progression system could also feel less repetitive, perhaps with conflict campaigns that last at least a week maybe, persistent ranks that reset once per month, or maybe just hype up capture and hold to split the crowd. More ways to rank up, such as medical assistance or doing activities near teammates, like in my season secure mod. Simply having preset loadouts could give players access to the playstyle they want without the need to rank up or spend time sucking up supplies at the arsenal. What do you think? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear where you're at with this. Personally, I'm torn on the rank locking. I agree with the idea in principle. Realism's cool, but the grind can get somewhat annoying from match to match, and conflict itself can use some tweaking to address many of the metas that have developed over the years, which is a topic for another video. For now, I'll be over here, hauling supplies and dreaming of that gunship. This is Ironbeard, and I'll see you on the battlefield.
Oh shit.